Hi, I'm Eli. I'm from Singapore. And I'm going to talk to you about this publishing startup that I've been doing for the last year or so called Pandemian. Pandemian started when I was doing tech support for a bunch of independent writers for about 5 years. Eventually, I got sick because the state of independent software, self-help software for self-publishing writers is really terrible. So I decided, might as well just go out and start a company around building software that's easy to use, simple and easy to use. Right, Pandemian is the easiest way to publish books online. One thing that's not going to change about how we think of ourselves is that we're the Tumblr for book writers, in the sense that it's like a blog. You can read, respond to comments, and then convert to every ebook format under the sun, and we imbue simplicity in every single user interface. So for instance, this is the dashboard. It's the first thing you see when you log into Pandemian. You can read, you can write, revise your lost chapters, or convert, or respond to comments. This is Fred Wilson's MBA Mondays. He doesn't know us, but he does know that we host a mirror of his book, and he links to it occasionally. This is what a front page of a Pandemian book looks like. Milady Sa is a senior, nice elderly woman in the UK, and she loves Pandemian because it's much easier as compared to sort of the other sites that she had to use to sort of publish her book in the past, Blogger and WordPress. This is how our ebook conversions page looks like. It's convert to EPUB, to Mobi, to text, to export if you want to delete your book or take it off, and convert to PDF as well. It's all one click, it's simple, and you don't have to do much configuration. We all use same presets. The whole shtick behind Pandemian is to make publishing simple and easy, primarily for independent authors, and primarily easy enough for my grandfather to use, or your kid, or whatever. An example of this is, in ebook conversions, you can convert every chapter as you publish them immediately. It's on the fly. We choose same presets for metadata and so on and so forth. You can enter metadata in a separate screen, which hasn't been pushed yet, actually. This is how we handle cover images. It's just you upload it and we scale it and appropriate. And this is on the right. You see how it looks like in an iPad or an iBooks. For instance, in this particular case, this is social autoposting. What we found that authors like to do is that they like to tell the world on the Facebook stream or the Twitter stream that they've published a new chapter. We figured that they shouldn't need to do that, so we built that in for them. So you just have to authenticate once and you can publish forever. One thing that we're experimenting with is to make writing simple and easy, sort of like a staging area for books, that if you're writing a book, you put it online in Pandemian, then you extract it when you're done with the book. But this is still something that we're experimenting with when we're talking to writers. Example features that we're thinking of that are various states of brokenness on local builds is suggest edits. This is taken from Quora, but the idea is good. You can suggest edits when you see a typo in a chapter, and the paragraph one, which is like an unlike button for books. If you see a typo in a paragraph, you want to warn the author, you just click that button. Blog embeds is something that's coming out, hopefully by the end of this week, it's done. Authors usually have websites or blogs. They should be able to embed the works in progress and let readers download chapters or sample chapters of books that they're currently working on. But we don't always get everything right. This is a half-form idea that never actually took off. If you go to this link, you actually jump to a specific paragraph with sentences highlighted. This was the emphasis. This is the emphasis library from the New York Times. We ported it over, but nobody actually seems to use it. But we thought it was a cool idea. One thing we've been doing is we've been talking to a lot of writers. I actually took some time off rehearsing for Books and Browsers to speak to writers yesterday, and that's something that we know we should be doing a few writers every week. So here are 3 snippets of what writers have been telling us over the past year or so. The first thing was slightly surprising. Please, more feedback. This was an actual email from a writer. It turns out that as writers are writing books, they very often want feedback from other writers on how they're doing chapters and so on and so forth. This is another email which took me by surprise because the actual words used was beta a book. That means, put a book out there while you're writing it and then figuring out editing on the fly in public, which was surprising. And the last thing for self-published authors is that typos in ebooks, especially for self-published authors with no editors, is a tricky problem. So maybe suggest edits or paragraph 1 could help with that. We're still figuring that out. This slide actually is nothing. It's just a buffer just in case I ran out of time. But if any of my experiments fail, it is actually on my GitHub account. In fact, we have Django EPUB conversion, and I maintain it, and it's free on my GitHub account. So, yeah, thank you.